Good evening, this is Mike Palmer of Mike Palmer Homes. I've been making a sequential video of this house going up. Unfortunately, we're at dusk here, but we get limited time when the framers aren't here making a lot of noises. But last video I showed the first floor walls go up. So now what they've done is put the roof sheathing on, and you can see those boards up there. They'll put the sheathing on that gable, that triangle is called a gable, on the ground and stand it up. A lot easier than carrying the while they're framing on the second floor. A lot easier than carrying all that plywood up. And later they'll put the house wrap on there. But anyway, I wanted to show you what after the first floor goes up, they put up the second floor, obviously. But see, in the garage, you've got these are called I-joists. They have a very long, they can span 24 feet. They've got the subfloor up there, so you can't use dimensional lumber. Now that we have all this plywood on, you probably don't need as many of these braces, because once you get the plywood on the sides of sheathing, it keeps it nice and square. And let's go take a look inside. So across the major portions of the house, you have these, what are called I-joists, or TJIs, which is an engineered lumber. And it sits on this beam called an LVL. Now, that carries a lot of load on the second floor. There's going to be a main structural wall. That's why you have this triple beam here that sits on this called the PSL, but that is made to carry a lot more load than just dimensional lumber. Same over here, this beam. See over here, these pieces that hold it up, they're called jacks. There's 3 of them there. It's got 2 here because you're going to have a half wall come out. But this is called the PSL. Now they ran the beam all the way to the wall. They don't have to. This is a structural beam that holds all that up, and you can tell that's made to carry a lot more weight than this here. But that is laminated veneer lumber. Now over this area, we don't have a second floor load, so you can just put 2x8s, and they span there. However, we do have a beam here, and you see that small rectangular piece of wood, we call that a bond timber. All those joists are notched. They sit on top of there. You have to have 3 nails under there. Each nail can carry a load of about 400 pounds. So that holds all that together. This here is going to be our window seat. As you can see, they've got it braced up nicely. They don't have the plywood on there yet. Our back porch, here's all our ceiling joists for the back porch. So they haven't built the roof on there yet, but they framed out the second story walls. Okay, and you can see they're starting. You've got the gable roof, that A shape over there. So they'll build that back here, and that will start to come to life with the roof framing. But a couple of other things to point out. This is the master bedroom, so we've got this tray ceiling, but they have all these beams here to support the tray ceiling because it supports all this weight. Now you see right here, those 2x4s are put up there temporarily just to hold that up. And they're going to put what's called a joist hanger up under there, which is this. This is a very big joist hanger, but that's going to go up. Goes up underneath that beam. You have a nailing pattern there. Actually, there's a little smaller one for there. This is for one of the great big ones, the width of it. But you have a certain nailing pattern in there, and it's designed by the engineers, and those metal components will hold up the major load-bearing walls. This is just a temporary staging so that they can work, but we're going to have a big cathedral ceiling. So this part's going to be flat. Oh, you can see. Can you see a joist hanger up there? As far as it goes, there's a big metal joist hanger up there, or LVL hanger. And you're going to have the ceiling rafters come down. This is going to be a sloped ceiling here. So that's what goes on next. But I know this house plan real well. We've built it a good number of times. That's going to be a bedroom up there. You see you have the ceiling joists up there. Depending how long they span, they've either got to be a 2x10 or 2x8. We generally don't go less. Generally, we don't go less than a 2x8 unless it's a really small ceiling. You might see a 2x6. But that's rare because you have to fit all the insulation up in there and probably pack it down. Anyway, that piece called an LVL up on top, they call that a rim joist. A rim board. That rim board nails into all these I-joists so that they don't twist down the road. Anyway, and they sit on top of this, and that's carries a lot of load. That's why this board is so big. And you can see around here, oh, they put a piece of plywood over top of that for safety, just temporarily. There's a big hole underneath there that has to be patched. They have to put a new piece of subfloor down, because when you're framing and you're carrying around these big pieces of wood, sometimes one will get away from you and it falls. When it falls and hits this floor, a big joint, boom, sometimes it breaks a hole in it. This is actually very neat for a property that's in the middle of framing. Usually there's pieces of wood all over the place, but they did a good job cleaning up the end of the day here. But there was a hole in the floor, something fell, so that needs to be repaired. So they just laid this over the top, because you never know who's coming to your job site after hours. Kids come, neighbors just come to look, prospective buyers come, and we don't want anybody falling in that hole. And I did have one house, we're halfway building it, and the homeowner was very excited. He wanted to come see his new house, so he brought the kids. Sure enough, there was a hole in the subfloor and a kid ran and fell in it. Fortunately, he did not get hurt, but he could have very easily got hurt significantly. So anyway, this is the next phase. I'm going to try to get back here and make a video of the roof being framed, weather and daylight permitting. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. As always, don't be shy hitting that like and subscribe button if you see something you like, and we'll see you on the next video.